welcome along, Pitt, Wigmore, Margate Mercury, Winter 1920 edition. Featured artist for this edition. So what should we talk about?
Well,
tell us about you. What are you doing right now? Solo music,
wise.
Just started launching. Let's talk about that and then we'll work backwards.
Right, so I only recently just become a solo artist. I recently released my debut single on Lazy Days.
Lazy Days?
Lazy Days, check that out. Yeah, so that came out on the 30th of August. And that's been doing quite well.
It's gone down really well, actually.
It has gone down extremely well.
Not that we should be surprised, because obviously we like the music, but I think it's gone a bit beyond expectations, right? It was like 1,000 streams in the first week.
Yeah, in the first 6-7 days we were up to 1,000, and then it got featured on a playlist in, I believe, Tampa Bay, Florida.
Nice.
So then it went up by another 600 streams. So then we were on 1,600 streams within,
doing all right.
A week, 2 weeks.
We're recording right now a little bit before this is going to go out, so it's going to probably be a lot more, thousands more by the time the Margate Mercury fans see this interview.
We definitely hope so.
And so we're at this time in real life, we're planning the next single release, but by the time this video comes out, it's probably going to be out, right? So we're looking at Intoxicated.
We are looking at Intoxicated Girl, my second single, to be out around October, November time. Yeah, similar sort of vibe to My Nostalgia. It definitely has that ambient, experimentally vibe. But with this one, I kind of wanted to take elements of R&B a bit more. The genre that I've kind of been getting into a lot more recently. But yeah, that should be out around October, November. There's no set date yet. However,
by the time this video's out, it should be out. The video's going to be out in December, right. So we're sort of in the past right now for people watching. But so the thing that always strikes me, and it's not just about you, it's about other musicians locally that I've got to know over the years through Seaside Sessions, is that you're so diverse with what you do. So we're in Spongy Bobbins, an indie band. You're in Nifty, a hip hop rap group with a backing band. You're in the band of that one, and. What was the other ones you were doing? The duo stuff you were doing over the years, Ebony Moon and Marilyn Sky.
Duo, yeah.
And the solo stuff is just different to all of it.
The solo,
How do you get hands on it? How do you keep it all together? And it's so vast, the genres, I find.
Yeah, well, that's definitely something in terms of me as a player. You really, if you want to expand yourself as a guitarist, pianist, whatever, you really need to learn how to play all different types of music. If you just hone in on one genre, you will find that you will be very restricted to what you can do.
I suppose maybe it influences your solo stuff, because I suppose, from my point of view, having worked with you personally for quite a while now, the solo stuff is really what we're focusing on with Lazy Days. I know Nifty are on the same label as well, which is great. But with your solo stuff in particular, I think maybe you take elements of that, trip hop, things like that you're sort of into, other artists that you take a bit of influence from. So maybe it kind of makes your solo projects a bit more rounded, because you've got so many other little influences in there. Yeah,
I definitely would agree with that. I mean, when I first started playing in Nifty, I can honestly say I was never really big on hip hop and rap. So I had to learn to love it, and I really have now. I'm quite a big hip hop, rap, R&B fan.
I mean, you do like East Coast, and I'm all about West Coast, so...
Nas, it's all about Nas.
Tupac, mate. But no, it's all good. No, I agree with you, and I think you can hear a bit of those sort of influences coming through. And especially, I've been privy to some of your demo recordings. I think you can see those things coming through in it, so...
Yeah, even with my own solo stuff, I've really tried to incorporate a more... I mean, I will always stay true to my roots and bring in the rockier, bluesy sound. However, I've brought in a more contemporary sound with my solo stuff. So R&B being, bit flavouring of that in. Trip hop for sure, and soul as well.
Nice.
And I don't think I really have tried to make it a particular genre with my solo stuff. I mean, it did start off as just an instrumental-based project where I was just looping ideas using my loop pedal that big, just taking influences from bands such as Pink Floyd, Incubus, things like that. And I was just creating my own sound. And then I started to think, oh, I can make something of this, and this is going somewhere. And then I was invited to play at a couple of showcase gigs, playing my loops, and I started to get quite a good reception with them. So that was when I thought, okay, I need to kind of take this seriously. If people like them, I like them. Let's see if I can make them into, a really good sounding EP, get them all, mixed and stuff. So I took a couple of my loops to Dan Lucas, who runs Anchor Baby, and he said, you need to make these into proper full songs, I can really see potential with them, and he really liked them. So we worked on quite a few ideas and techniques to really make them into this very specific sounding experimental lo-fi vibe that so many seem to like now.
So we're in Albies. You performed here a lot.
I have indeed.
You learnt you learnt music obviously a long time ago, but you were part of MAP, which was a big thing for a few years.
It was.
I've been working with a lot of MAP artists actually for the last few years. So let's talk about live stuff that you've done here. I saw you down here, I think, with Nifty supporting Rapturous, or Rapturous supporting you guys.
That was earlier on this year.
2019, start of 2019.
February.
And I remember seeing a MAP showcase event, I think, at the end of 2018 as well, which was quite nice.
That was,
quite a cool thing.
September 2018. So Nifty, we've played here quite a few times. We played alongside Rapturous here.
Tell me about some of the other gigs you've done, though. I think Scroungy Bobbin's gig that you did with at Dreamland was pretty amazing.
Dreamland.
Tell me the difference between, for example, playing at the Tom Thumb, which is an amazing venue,
right,
but obviously quite a small stage, to playing at the big sort of stage in the middle of Dreamland. How does it feel?
It really comes down to the sound system. The Tom Thumb, an extremely old, I think it's pretty ancient. I've got a feeling it's haunted as well. And you can fit max 75 people in there. So the sound is going to be pretty compressed. It's great. The sound of Tom Thumb is really good, but it's a lot more confined. But it has that real DIY gig feel, whereas Dreamland definitely had that arena stadium sound. So it was like,
I've made it now. I'm on the big stage.
Margate, no, but that stage was, it was really high up.
Yeah.
Really wide. The sound system was. So that definitely, you felt yourself going from here to there in terms of sound.
Yeah, nice.
So that was, good.
So maybe we should talk about, I guess, your connection to Margate. You're from Margate.
I am from Margate.
We get a lot of artists who are featured in the Margate Mercury who have moved away from other places.
But they're not originally
OG. QEQM forever.
QEQM, always. And sideboard,
Yeah, absolutely. Same for me. Yeah, I know. It's nice, right? It's nice. And I personally, I think, you're obviously quite a bit younger than me, but I've seen such a resurgence in Margate. But how do you find the scene, the local scene, and sort of networking for musicians, and how it's kind of expanded over the last 5-10 years or so?
I would definitely have to thank the people from London for making Margate what it is now. Because Margate, I think, and the majority of seaside towns like Southend, Blackpool, they're going to be heaps of shit if they don't have the funding. It's going to have candy floss like a hay ball, but candy floss rolling.
Right.
So what
an image.
Yeah. And then the grey sea and just, that's what a seaside town in the UK is. However, the funding and the surge of people coming down here and wanting to, buy places and do them up, and invest a lot into the art scene. I'd say it's really gone up in the last 3-5 years.
Yeah, I think that's key as well, because not to sort of knock anywhere else. I love Ramsgate, I love going over, but I suppose it seems that where Ramsgate's investment is in Wetherspoons, Margate's investment is in Turner, and I think that investment in the arts it's got much more of a longer standing effect.
Yeah.
I think you can see the businesses that have come up since then. There's a lot more independent traders happening now, rather than just chains. And I think the art scene in general, not just music, but the art scene in general is really amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But so many amazing musicians coming out of this area now.
They all seem to be coming out every week. There's someone new, and they're just... I know. And it's been really nice to see your hometown, getting a name for itself. Because I think for a while everyone was like, you can only make it if you live in London, whereas actually it's now turned the other way.
Yeah.
More people from London are coming down here. And I think the Turner, since the opening of that, I've seen a real improvement with funding in venues. So many small little bars and venues opening up now. The Margate Soul Festival, of course, that brings in
thousands of people.
So many people.
Literally, yeah. Eli's done an amazing job there.
Really has, and bringing in some big names as well. So I like to think that Margate is on the up. It's already gone up from where it was, I'd say, from when I was born. But I'd like to think that it's continuing on the up. I think it's definitely the new Brighton. Some
nice.
say. Yeah.
That's a good comparison. How about going back to you, musical influences, things that you love growing up? Because you're so hip hop and R&B is a new thing for you, right? But what were we talking about as you were growing up? What were you listening to? What did you want to be like when you were like 14?
14. You've dropped the key age.
Oh yeah.
At that age, I was very big on Deftones, Incubus. I was very much into my heavy music at that age. Bullet for My Valentine was a big one at that age. But
were you writing music back then, or did you just learn guitar and that was your main thing for a while?
So with guitar, I started learning when I was 10, and just for many years I was really just learning what my teachers taught me. Here's a scale, learn it. Here are chords, learn it. Here's songs. But the song choices I got from my teachers, like a whole range of different things, but they helped me understand rock music. I say rock music, massive.
Yeah.
Rock is just a big, genre of lots of different little things. But it opened up a world of grunge and post-rock and things like that, really. And that's when I started to realise, because I think when you are younger, you are just exposed to what's in the charts at the time. And then when I was shown music that was not just... I thought, this is making me feel something. This is making me feel alive, And I remember about 13, and a family friend had burnt me 3 CDs. One was an Alice in Chains album, one was an Incubus album, and then the third one was a Lamb of God album. Now, they are super heavy, and I was never really... I think, when you're young, you're thinking, I'm getting into this, but really, not really so much. So that, in a way, is what drew me to wanting to learn how to play lead, wanting to learn how to shred, play solos. And then I think my teachers just exposed me to bands like Pink Floyd, and then Hendrix, people like that. So then I started to think, so I like this. And I was always interested in the idea of writing. and I'd been in and out of bands when I was, 14, 15. But I thought, how can I create my own sound? And then that's when I started to hone in on the genres that I felt I really connected with. And I started to work on sounds like that, really, yeah.
And what about writing? Did that just come later? Or did you ever write sort of like poetry or something that then now you've put to your loop music?
Oh, yeah. I'm sure if I dig deep in the depths of my room, there's probably a little diary from back in the day. I think I was always coming up with ideas and stuff. Even because writing lyrics, I think that came later for me, but I wrote down little lines and sentences that I thought sounded really sweet and sing-songy. But actually my songwriting process officially started when I was about 17 or 18.
Okay.
And then I got my loop pedal when I was 19. And that's when I started to really, really build on the ideas that I had I'd written months ago, years ago, and I'd worked on them and thought, maybe I can make my own music just using this, and I have.
Yeah. And
that is now what has brought me to releasing my own solo stuff, was all through that little loop pedal.
What an investment.
I know.
So let's finish up on this then. So I've seen you perform a million times with a million different artists.
You're probably bored senses
yeah, completely. But you always seem like very confident. You always seem and really into it as well. I notice you sort of, sometimes you look around the audience, but almost like you're just in this moment, in the guitar moment. You're looking at people in the audience, but you're just thinking about what you're doing. And so what would you say to 13, 14-year-old Claire, now as someone who's a solo performer, doing stuff on your own, in all these different bands, different genres? So what would you say to younger you about getting out there and doing more?
I think, I know for a fact 14, 15-year-old me wanted to do what 21-year-old me was doing, but never rush it. Don't rush it, you're very young. Your time will come. Just keep practicing. I know it's boring. I know it's painful. Those cold winter months, and you've just finished school and you're practicing and you think, this is pointless. It's not. And you'll find one day, somehow you're doing the thing that you never thought you would be doing, and then you're doing it for a job. It's great. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, great. Thank you for your time.
It's fine. Absolutely fine. Thank you.